This video is for topic area 2, market research to target a specific customer, and this is 2.5, types of market segmentation. We are looking at market segmentation, and this is basically the process of dividing up your customers into different groups based on different factors. So it's about looking who your particular customers are going to be and trying to kind of paint a picture of what they might look like. So this means a business can basically focus more on those particular customers, and it makes it a lot easier to target those individuals. So I like to use this little acronym called GALE-GO, and that is a way of trying to remember the 6 different types of market segmentation for this course. So these are all basically methods of segmenting your market down into smaller groups of people. So for example, if we look at gender, first of all, now I know, and we all know, that now there are more than 2 types of gender in modern society, but businesses will still focus on male and female because that is basically more than 95% of the population. So as a business, if you market your products based on a gender, it can make it a little bit easier for you to target those individuals. Next, we can look at age. And age, again, can be very generalized in the sense that some people might have similar interests, but a lot of people's needs do change as they get older. So children's needs are completely different to teenagers' needs, completely different to adults, completely different to older people. Income is another really important one because you can divide your customers up into basically low income, medium income, high income people, and that will make it a lot easier when you are creating your products. Lifestyle. Now this one is very different to the first 3 in the sense that it doesn't really matter about people's gender, age or income on what their hobbies and interests might be. For example, lots of girls might like football, so you can't just say that because they are a female they won't be interested in football products. So it's all about hobbies and interests and what people are what they do in their spare time rather than just basing it on gender, age and income. Geographic can be quite important in the sense that if you were going to be selling big warm coats, you're not going to sell those to people in certain parts of the country or certain countries where it's extremely warm. The same goes for things like cars, as in parts of America, you might drive big, massive pickup trucks as opposed to little city cars that you might have in places like Japan, where they have a lot of electric cars in the city. Occupation is kind of the most kind of specific one of those categories because a lot of the products that you might come up with are going to be related to their job. So for example, a teacher might buy certain products like stationery. A plumber will buy specific tools to be able to do his job. The same with joiners, they will buy a different set of tools that will be specific for their job. And it goes on like that where certain jobs will have specific products and services that they might be interested in. So if you remember GALE-GO, the first letter of each one, it will start to bring that back to you. You will remember, you'll see the first G and think, what's G? Gender, what's A? Age, and it does help with your recall as you go through. So now that we know what it is, we need to have a little bit of an understanding about it as well. So we're going to take a look at some examples. So the first example is JD Sports that I want to look at. And the reason why I've taken a look at this one is where the business has already segmented the market down to some level in the sense that it knows which market it wants to target. So it knows that it's in the clothing market. Now within that clothing market, it wants to segment its customers. So first of all, it looks at gender and it goes, okay, we actually want to target both genders with our products. So specifically, some products will be targeted at male, some targeted at female. When we look at age, we have children's stuff, we have kind of teen clothes, and we have adult clothes. So just within that one store, you can see that they've done some market segmentation. They've done a little bit of gender, a little bit of age. And then what they also do is a little bit about income as well. So income, they do offer certain brands that cost less than others. For example, things like Champion, they will cost a lot less than some of the Adidas and Nike stuff. What you'll also see is that they have things to do with people's interests. So they've got football kits and things like that, because that might be what people are interested in. So you can see that they are segmenting the market and they're trying to hit as many different areas as they can. But when they create a customer profile, for example, a female of 16 years old, they will start to tailor their products specifically towards those people. If we look at market segmentation for drinks, we look at the brand Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola, you might not be aware of this, but they do actually own a lot of subsidiary companies, which are smaller companies that they've bought into. And it's so that they can have the biggest spread of drinks available to their customers. So not everybody likes Coca-Cola. Some people might like other flavors of drinks, so they've got other flavors that they've brought out, like Fanta and Lilt. Then what they've done is they've tried to target those people that might be interested in fitness. So they've got things like Powerade. They've got people who might be interested in their health, so they've got vitamin water. And they've got things like Diet Coke, where people might be interested in losing weight. So they've got all these different products that are targeting different segments of that market. Finally, I want to look at cars. Now, specifically, we're looking at Mercedes. So they have targeted the higher income brackets. The cheapest car available here starts from £24,000. So they have targeted the highest income people, really. Also, what they then do is they try to target particular genders. So what you will find is that a lot of the female drivers, and this is not me being stereotypical, this is based on evidence, will tend to drive A-class hatchback and the larger cars like the four-wheel drives, like the GLE and the GLC. And a lot of men tend to drive the saloon cars and the larger things like the G-Class. And also, female drivers tend to prefer the cabriolet. So a lot of female drivers tend to drive the convertible cars as well. But what they've also done is they've targeted specifically some people who are in the very, very high income brackets, where cars might start from 100,000 plus. They also target families. So families with people with children, and that could be their interests. They have got the four-wheel drive cars, the ones that are a lot more spacious and give them room. And you might have occupations as well. So someone who might be a workman or might do a lot of transport might buy something like the big van at the bottom. So we can see clearly how businesses can target different segments of the market. Sometimes they want to try and target as many of those different segments as possible. Okay, so that is basic rundown of market segmentation. If you've got any questions, just drop me an email and I'll get back to you.